Okay, this is problem number 12, and it says find the x-intercept and the y-intercept without graphing, and then write the coordinates of each intercept. They want you to write it as an ordered pair. Just to give you a quick explanation, if you're graphing something, you have a horizontal axis, which is labeled as the x-axis, and then your vertical one is the y. And if you draw a line, it is going to cross the x-axis somewhere, and any point that is on the x-axis has coordinates of wherever it is on the x-axis, but y is 0. So the first thing I'm going to do is come up here to my equation, which is 9x minus 8y equals 72, and I am going to plug in the 0 where the y is, because 8 times 0 is 0, and 9x minus 0 is 9x. And if 9 times x equals 72, then x would have to be 8, because 9 times 8 is 72. So my x-intercept is x is 8, y is 0. But then the line also crosses the y-axis, and that point always has a coordinate, an x-coordinate of 0, and then the y-coordinate is wherever it crosses the y-axis. So I'm going to come back up to this exact same equation, and instead of plugging into the y, I'm now going to plug into the x. I'm going to stick the 0 where the x is, and then solve for y. And 9 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 8y is a negative 8y. And negative 8 times y equals 72, so y would have to be a negative 9, because negative 8 times negative 9 is positive 72. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 9. And when you have an equation like this up here, this is a linear equation, and I know it's linear because the x is to the first power, and so is the y, and the exponent will tell me how many times it'll cross an axis. So since it's x to the first, it'll cross the x-axis one time, and since it's y to the first, it crosses the y-axis one time. And it, like, you know, lines, if you ever took a geometry class, lines go on forever and ever in both directions. So it can, the only way it can cross the x or y axis a second time is if it curves back and goes up, or, you know, goes around in a circle or something. And that's when you start to get into x squareds and x cubes and more complicated equations. So all they wanted to know is where it crosses the x-axis and where it crosses the y-axis, and those are my answers. And if you don't believe me, I will go back to Mobius, and I will click on this, and my x-intercept was I forgot already. What was my x? Oh, 8, 0. Oh boy. And ordered pair 8, 0, boop. And then my y-intercept was 0, negative 9. And then when you're got your answers in, you come over here where it says, how did I do? And click on it. And if you get them right, it should turn green, and it did. I got green around here, so they're right. If they were wrong, they'd be circled in red. And then, of course, if you hover your mouse over it, it shows me my answer, and the correct answer are identical. And then, of course, it'll come down here and it'll explain what you did wrong. Or, yeah, if you got it wrong, you can see whether you got it right or you got it wrong. It'll show you the correct process so that you can go back and redo it again. All right, so that is that.